That's why we do it like this once a week. You know what I mean?
It's the right amount of contact with Tony.
Right? I don't want to get on your nerves and then get cut out of the podcast. Oof. Boy, that would be a terrible day.
Then I just do it by myself.
It's the Dan Goodsell Show. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
Instagram Live, not archived for no people.
Hey, watching with Dan and Tony. Hey, watching with Dan and Tony. It's Hey Watching, yeah.
Welcome to Hey Watching with Dan and Tony. I'm Dan.
I'm Tony.
We're the dudes with the tudes that get on the YouTubes and bring you the latest, hottest movie reviews. Wow.
That actually rhymed the whole way through. I kept waiting for you to drop the ball, but you knocked it right out of the park. Proud of you, Dan.
Back when we used to do improv, there was this improv game called Dr. Seuss. Or did it have a different name? I don't know.
Yeah. No, I think we just called it Dr. Seuss.
Then you'd make up a Dr. Seuss book, and I was the best at it.
You were very good. You know who was not good at that?
Most other people.
Well, yeah, everybody else. But in particular, I was very, very bad at that. I hated being called on. I would never raise my hand for that game.
My favorite was we did it once in a show, and the other person they were doing okay. And, yeah. I'm just like chomping at the bit while we do it.
Yeah, I'm going to knock it.
And Jay gives me the point, and then he's like, go, Dan. I just went off. It was like, I've only done that a few times in improv, and it's just like, you get to the end, you're like, that was fun.
You know, since you're bringing up improv, have you ever had an improv nightmare? This just happened to me 2 nights ago. I had a nightmare where it was Dan and I used to be in a group, so for people that don't know, called Can You Help Me Move on Saturday?
Sure.
I don't remember.
Sunday?
Anyhow,
Saturday?
It was that team, and we were on stage at Groundlings, and for whatever reason, you know the nightmares that you have where you drop lines in a theater show? It was the exact same thing, except for I was supposed to be making up the lines, and I couldn't say a word. And I was like sweating, and everyone kept looking at me. They would set me up for a joke, and then they look at me, and then everyone's looking around, and the audience is getting mad. This was just a dream I had, and then eventually I just woke up. It never got resolved. So
was I killing it?
Oh yeah, you were crushing it. Harrison was on fire. Johnny was just zinging all over the place.
Johnny.
Bada bing.
Did Judy show up for the show?
She was there.
Judy was there. The dream?
Judy was in the dream.
Wow, so it was completely everybody. Wow.
It was everybody, and I was just not working.
Now,
my brain would not
do
work.
Your dreams make sense?
No.
The right people. No, but I mean, this dream very much made sense. You were failing,
sure.
everybody was there, and you were at the right. My dreams are
I was right at the venue. Yeah,
there's nothing straightforward like that.
Oh, so a lot of my dreams are about my inner existential dread. So a lot of them take place in the right place and with the right people, and then it's just me being a complete fucking loser. Yeah.
Wow. How interesting.
Yeah. I would prefer your dreams, Dan.
Sometimes.
That's the best answer you could give. Sometimes. Some of them you do not want to be in. I'll tell you that right now.
So that's Tony. Say hello, Tony.
Hi.
So we watch a movie, and then we convene on here to talk about the movie. And this week
is a very special episode.
Because, I sort of picked it, but it was sort of something we sort of had to do.
Yeah, because the new one comes out today. Not today when we record it, but today on release date. It is day and date with the new movie, Super Mario Bros. So we're going back to the old one, the good one, as I'll refer to it to.
Super Mario Brothers, the movie, 1993, hour and 44 minutes.
Is that it?
What are you going to say, 4.5 hours?
I felt like I fell asleep for at least 30 minutes, and the movie still felt over 2 hours to me. I don't know.
We've watched a lot of movies. I do have to say, this movie is the movie that's the most overstuffed with concepts.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe Cloud Atlas had a lot of stuff in it too, but I don't know. Cloud Atlas was a lot more straightforward than this movie.
It was strange to say. It was far more coherent than this movie ever gets to. And it was twice the length.
Yes.
So they had more time to do more things.
Sometimes this movie gets to the point where a character just has to be like, it's amazing how this, that, and that, and this, that.
And then I'm like, oh, that is amazing because I wasn't even caught up to that. Thank you. Thank you for telling me what happens.
This movie was directed by the team of it was a guy and a woman who were the Max Headroom people.
Oh. What happened to them?
I don't know.
Is this it?
I didn't do the full research on them. I needed to do. I should have done that. They got brought in after a couple other directors got thrown out. 700 writing teams ran through this thing.
700. And that's an exact number, by the way.
The directors were like dictators. They were truly hated by the cast.
Oh, no.
Everybody hated each
research.
other. Bob Hoskins and John Leguizamo would get drunk every morning before shooting.
Wait, what?
That's what they said. They would get drunk every day before shooting because they hated it so much. Dennis Hopper, supposed to be on for 5 weeks, says it took him 17 weeks he was there for.
Oh, my God.
Dennis popularly had substance use problems at times in his life. Maybe that was happening too then. I don't know.
I mean, if he was clean at this time, it was definitely a problem. You know what I mean?
If he was clean, he was not doing well with that. If he was on something, he was not doing well.
Either way, it was bad. It was a bad time. 17 weeks?
His kid watched it and is like, Dad, why did you do this movie? And he's like, I did it because, I have to keep got to be able to buy you shoes. And the kid's like, I didn't need shoes that badly.
I will walk around barefoot. Don't worry about it, Dad. Oh, man.
So this is one of those movies that is fraught with problems. And the other thing is they went to Nintendo to get the movie rights, and Nintendo's like, okay. And they're like, we're going to do whatever we want. And Nintendo's like, okay. That's why it has nothing to do with Nintendo, exactly.
Which also probably explains why today Nintendo is the exact opposite.
Oh, really?
And they are super controlling over their IP, and their hands are in everything that has to do with it, which is great because they get it and they know it. And I always think that their product's pretty good. But I feel like this was probably the catalyst where they're sitting down and thinking, yeah, maybe we shouldn't just let people do whatever they want with our shit.
So the multi-million-dollar learning experience, they made a bunch of money, and, I don't think it really hurt them at all having this come out.
But it didn't help.
It didn't do any good.
There's no way that it helped in any way, shape, or form.
And so, has there been another Nintendo movie?
There has to be, right?
I can't think of one.
Yeah, I guess I can't. Other than the one that comes out tonight, which I'm excited to see.
And I think they made the right choice because the movie that's coming out now looks gorgeous. Other than the Chris Pratt thing, the voice acting seems incredible, and it looks like it could be a good movie.
I think it's going to be a good movie either way. And, I don't know.
Either way? What does that mean? Oh, with Chris Pratt?
Even if Chris Pratt is still in it by the time that I see it tonight,
got it.
I think I'll still like it.
Got it. You're putting Chris Pratt aside.
I hope so. We'll see. I'm not always the best at that.
Yeah, sure.
But I feel good about it.
Okay. So, Super Mario Brothers, anything up front you want to say, Tony?
I don't understand what we watched. I couldn't, if you asked me to tell you the plot of this movie, I could give you the very high level. There's a rock and they wanted to put it into a hole, and then that would have done stuff.
Yeah.
That's about all I got from the plot.
Basically, a meteor hit the Earth 35 million years ago or something. There was an amount of time I didn't write it down.
Well, it's got to be 65, right? Because it's the dinosaurs?
65 million years ago. Oh. And it split the world into two dimensions. Our dimension and then a dimension where dinosaurs evolved. Our dimension...
Into humans?
Into humans, yes.
That doesn't make sense.
No, it doesn't
right off the bat.
Doesn't make any sense.
Here's why it doesn't make sense to me. And I'm not a science guy.
Because we look like monkeys?
Because we came, but they say that in the movie. So on one place, we came from monkeys, correct. On the other place, we came from dinosaurs. Two different species won't evolve into the same species, right?
No.
What the fuck is going on here?
Yep.
So I was out from the beginning.
Yeah. And so basically this other dimension, the meteorite's still sitting there, and somehow a piece of it broke off, and
Just like a really tiny,
And-
insignificant piece.
and this thing's a big meteorite, and it's round, very strange.
Yeah. It's a perfect, like, bowling ballish looking thing.
Stuck into the
Great.
ground. If you push this thing back in there, then our dimension reintegrates with that dimension, which
How does that happen?
basically just means all the people in that dimension are transported into our world.
Yeah, it seems like their world disappears and our world stays. I don't understand any of it.
And so, yes, and the bad guy's plan is to do that, and then he'll have 100 guys to take over our world of how many billions of people are here.
Right. Doesn't feel like a very thought out plan. He's not going to win.
He has the
I'll tell you
he has
that.
the army that controls like a small city area, smallish city area, and he's going
Yeah,
to
just like a tiny little town, a mini metropolis.
and with this 100 guys, he's going to take over. I mean,
The
what
whole world.
was it? 4.5 billion people that live here.
I don't know what the number was back in 1993, but yeah.
It's probably at least 1 billion. So that's the plot of the movie.
How can That's the plot of the movie. That can't be a plot to any movie ever.
So we start off with
Yeah, all right, let's
with
go.
some 8-bit music. That's all we'll get of that is just
Which was it tricks you. It tricks you into thinking that this is going to be like a cool, fun thing because I was ready.
And then they tell this sort of thing about the meteors and the dinosaurs through animation. What did you think of that animation, Tony?
I think what they were going for was NES style graphics. You know,
No, they were going for
you don't
really,
think so?
really shitty looking, sort of pixelated animation
And that's
from the
so
90s.
the sort of pixelated is why I was like, they might be trying to do the 8-bit Nintendo, but it's so wrong. It's all so wrong.
It's so interesting how we, at the sort of distance of having the 8-bit sort of thing sort of around, there's this sort of thing that happens is there's when a thing is happening, when a technology is happening, you look at it and you're like, if only this would get better. Then you get a distance from it and you're like, oh my God, that's charming and beautiful now that
Yes.
we've gotten the distance from it.
And yeah, and we love classic 8 and 16-bit stuff now. The pixel art's great.
We love that. But the animation they used is sort of in between that, and so it remains horrible.
It will forever be poor.
But then again, you got to still be very careful because there's all sorts of design from the 80s and 90s that people love now that I still look at and just go like, this is such garbage.
Not Zubas though, right? Because you love Zubas.
Those are the pants.
Yeah, those are the pants, baby.
They're probably very comfortable, but they're
They were
hideous.
very comfortable. No, Dan, they're beautiful. I used to have so many pairs of Zubas. Oh,
So this woman escapes from the other dimension, sort of, and then leaves this kid that's in an egg at a nunnery, and she returns to the sewers.
can we talk about this for just 1 second, Dan? And we don't have to go on to reproductive stuff too hard.
Yeah.
But the kids come out in giant eggs.
How does that come out of a woman?
Huge eggs. Where does that come from? What is going on with these alien vaginas?
I don't know, man.
Sorry. I
That's
can't
where
believe
Tony's-
that they decided
Tony-
to do that.
Tony immediately goes there,
Because she's a tiny woman. This woman drops off this kid, and then they show an egg later, and I was like, "You're telling me that egg came out of a woman?" Oh boy, we think we've got it bad in not we as in men, we as in humans have it bad in childbirth. My God, this other dimension,
Very
it'll
large.
kill you.
Very, very large egg. And she also leaves with the baby a little piece of crystal. Like, okay.
Now, time out.
I mean,
What
of
do
the
you mean,
meteor. Well, it's actually a piece of crystal, but it's actually a piece of the meteor.
It's part of the meteor. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. How did she get it? And why does that affect anything like the entire universe? They don't really explain that part to me. Why does she have it?
Well, what it should have been was he's been slowly collecting all the pieces of the meteor,
That's great.
putting them back together. This is the final piece, but
Great.
nobody
Yeah,
thought
he's doing
to.
some Legos. Yeah.
Nobody.
I don't know.
None of these 1,000 writers that they brought in could think far enough ahead to just say, "Well, here's a one-line fix." Because there's always anything there is, there's a one-line fix.
Yeah, not in this movie.
Not in this movie. Well,
We
no,
don't do
you can
any
fix
fixing.
anything with this. You can fix
But
anything.
we
in this
don't
movie.
do
They
it. I'm
don't
saying
it.
we
Yeah.
don't fix it. We break a lot of things and we never fix a single one of them.
Yeah, it's pretty great.
All right, I'm sorry. We can go faster now. Here we go.
No, it's okay. This movie also has a big cult following. Not a big cult following, but has a cult following.
Does it really?
And I can kind of understand that because it's very of the time.
Do you think that they are all high on acid while they watch
Absolutely.
it? I feel like that might work.
I saw this movie in the theater,
While on acid?
not on acid.
Okay, well, you missed
I
out.
remember going, and then as I remember it leaving, I was just like, that was weird.
That was weird. That was weird. Anyhow, back to my day.
I didn't walk out angry. I walked out confused because that's what this movie's not really an angry movie. It's a confusing movie.
It's just bizarre. It's Bizarro World. I don't understand how any of these decisions got made.
So we meet the Mario brothers. They're plumbers, and they're going broke. And one of them, Luigi, is anything is possible. And then Mario, Bob Hoskins, is more like, get
Grumposaurus.
get it done.
Yeah. Okay, couple things real quick. I understand this, they decided not to base this actually on the Mario Brothers.
Yeah.
But the weird personalities they give them both it's just so different from the games that I can't handle it. Luigi is nothing like that. He's just, I don't even know where they came up with this weird character guy.
How would you characterize Luigi?
Yes, Luigi is, kind of the sillier, goofier guy. He's always getting into trouble. Not like mischievous trouble, but he's always the one that gets like kidnapped or whatever.
Okay.
But he's not this for example, they're driving in the car.
Oh yeah, his
and
magic
Luigi
power is what's his magic power?
Yeah, what is happening? I don't understand. He's just like, don't worry, I know where I'm going. Even though I don't know where I'm going, it's just going to work out. I'm going to turn right when you say left. I don't know. Where do you come up with this shit?
Well, what it is you give your characters these traits, right, that are going to come in useful later. This one is very weird. But most importantly, so he knows where to go, right? It's like, if you turn left here, we're not going to get arrested by the cops.
Yeah.
But the Mario character doesn't ever believe him.
Correct. And then later, Mario is the one driving. Shouldn't Luigi have been driving?
No, Mario always drives, but Luigi just tells him where to go, but also knows how to manipulate him to go where he wants him to go by telling him the opposite
or something.
So there's like these levels of mind games where what it should be happening is Luigi knows the way and Mario should trust him. Right?
Great.
Isn't that what you want to do?
With your Mario brothers?
Yeah.
Yeah. Your brothers should work together.
They've kind of have been together a long time, and they should complement
but apparently
each other.
Not that long, because John Leguizamo's 12 years old in this movie, and Bob Hoskins is 64. I don't understand that either.
You understand that Luigi is a dinosaur person, right?
No. What? Wait. What?
You missed that one line. There was a line hacked in there. They're not actually brothers. Is that when they're at dinner? I don't even remember when they said the line.
Because there's a part at dinner where Luigi is talking to Daisy, and Daisy's like, I don't know my parents. And Luigi's like, hey, neither do I. And I was like, wait, what do you mean?
Yeah.
But then he was like, Mario's my brother. I got very confused.
So Luigi also fell from that dimension, I believe. I believe that they just have that one part in there which intimates that, and it makes sense that the two of them are attracted to each other because there's no reason for her to be attracted to him.
Whoa, damn. Shots fired at poor Leguizamo over here.
I love John Leguizamo, but the character he's playing in there is a dumb Brooklyn
character's
guy.
trash, but he's still cute. Young Leguizamo's still a cute little guy. I like him.
There's nothing appealing about him.
He's charmless, which is shocking to me because Leguizamo, when I think about him, I'm like, yeah, that guy could charm the pants off of me.
That guy has always gotten girls and knows how to get girls.
Girls, guys, everyone.
Have you ever watched any of his one-man shows?
Yes. The one that dropped it was at the beginning of the pandemic, something like that. It was good.
I've watched one. Yeah, I've watched a few of them, and he's an incredible writer and an incredible performer.
Yeah, he's a talented man.
And that's why it's kind of sad.
Not so good in this.
not great in this. Yeah, so Mario's name is Mario. Luigi's name is Luigi Mario. What's Mario's name supposed to be?
I don't even know. When they were doing this, that was my thought the whole time. I don't know the answer to that, but it's not Mario. I don't care what you say. And then Luigi Mario, that's even dumber. I hate it. I don't know.
Yeah, so pretty interesting. So he's Practical versus the Dreamer. And they get a shortcut, but they get there too late to the job they're trying to get because they needed money. The Scarpelli company is there first, and then Scarpelli's going to be the big bad, sort of the big bad.
Yeah.
But he's a plumber, but he's also a developer, but he's also everything.
I don't know what to tell you. He's not. And they don't even talk about how he got there first?
Nope.
Does he have an inside line? Is somebody feeding him these things faster? He's just there?
More importantly, that's not really how plumbing works.
You just call all plumbers and whoever shows up first gets the gig. I'm okay with that. I think that would be a fun world to live. A lot of car accidents would happen probably, but fun world.
More importantly, yeah, the shortcut doesn't work and doesn't get. I guess it got them there faster, but not fast enough.
But not fast enough. So what is the point of it?
I don't know.
Doesn't make any sense.
I don't know.
You don't know. Real quickly, the creator of Mario says that Mario has no last name.
There it is. No last name. So now we cut, and there's a dinosaur dig right next to the big bridge in New York. And then the Scarpelli guy shows up in person to shut it down. But there's protesters, and there's a court order to stop harassing them. But there's also girls going missing. This is all
all of that is divulged in about 45 seconds in a scene that doesn't even make sense to tell those things. Just give me a great little news blurb on the TV explaining to me all these things.
But you can't, because none of them connect together. So
that's true. It'd be a bizarre news story where it's just all over the place.
Because this movie is so all over the place, they have to just keep interjecting information, and you just nothing
randomly
adds together.
Yeah,
it's pretty great. Do you want to talk about Fisher Stevens and his partner, whose names are, we're going to call them their names because I wrote the names down, Iggy and Spike.
So, Iggy and Spike are characters in Mario.
Oh, are they?
They are, yeah, they're mini bosses.
Oh, okay.
I don't remember which ones they are, to be honest with you. It obviously does not matter, because that's not who they are in this at all. I am so confused, Dan. They're so dumb.
Yeah.
And I would say, normally at this point in the pod, I would say they're not believable as humans, but they're not humans.
No.
They're technically dinosaur people.
Yes.
But they're also so much dumber than all the other dinosaur people.
Except the Koopas.
Except the Koopas, which are
the dumbest.
They go back to their original dinosaur brains or something because of the... I don't fucking know.
I have a question about Mario.
Please, yeah.
Are there dinosaurs in Mario other than Koopa?
I mean, kinda. Yoshi is technically a dinosaur.
Yeah, Yoshi.
That part is correct.
That is true.
I think that's it.
The Hammer Brothers are turtles. The turtles are turtles. Yep. The ghosts are ghosts.
Yep. The Goombas are little... I don't even know what Goombas are, to be
mushrooms,
honest.
Aren't they?
They might be little. They're little brown triangle guys. Mushrooms is great.
Yeah, they're
that
mushrooms.
Makes perfect sense.
They're totally mushrooms.
Yeah.
Why are they dinosaurs?
I have no idea. I don't understand any of it. Why is Toad a fucking dinosaur? That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, why is Toad a dinosaur?
Toad is this weird hippie that sings a song, which is my favorite part of the movie, by the way.
We'll talk about that in a minute. You don't know who that is?
They turn him into a dinosaur.
You don't know who that is, do you?
I don't know who that is. Should I?
There's more to find out.
I love surprises.
You may have made a new. You may have found something you like.
Oh, I love it.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I
Okay,
don't believe that there are more dinosaurs. No.
We're,
I mean, but what is Bowser? Maybe Bowser is probably a dinosaur. He's got a spiky shell, breathes fire, right? He could be a
who's-
dinosaur.
wait, who's Bowser in the game?
Bowser's the big bad. He's
Who's
Jack Black in the
who's
new movie.
Koopa in the games?
So listen, now you're hitting on to the.
I wasn't thinking about it. I was always assuming that Dennis Hopper was playing Bowser, but he's playing Koopa.
He's playing King Koopa, which is technically a different guy. I think. I don't know. It's all very confusing.
Wait a second. I gotta look it up. Who is King Koopa?
Okay, no, they're saying Bowser and King Koopa are the same. They just change names.
Bowser or King Koopa. Okay.
Okay, there you go.
That makes more
So
sense.
I wonder if in the
That
originals
really
he was
close.
King Koopa, and then eventually he became Bowser. I don't know.
Yeah, that's here nor there.
None of it makes any sense. Well, but he looks like he could be a dinosaur, though, right?
Dennis Hopper?
Oh, no, God, no.
Oh yeah, no. Bowser is a dinosaur. Absolutely.
Okay.
That makes sense to me.
All right, so maybe 2 dinosaurs total.
But for some reason we've decided everybody's dinosaurs
Everything's a dinosaur.
except the fungus, which are fungus, sort of, but
And yet
no.
there are no mushroom people. Why are there no toads? Like, I don't understand. Well, there should be a whole bunch of toad people in the mushroom world.
Okay, Fisher Stevens and the other guy. The funny thing is that other guy was a kind of classic New York character actor appearing in. I know him from. He was in the Jim Jarmusch films. He was in.
I thought he was really bad.
Down by Law. He's great in the Jarmusch films because he plays like this understated kind of idiot guy. Kind of like this.
This feels very forced.
Well, it's
to
like they said to them, okay, imagine you're in a Three Stooges movie. And they do Three Stooges things at one point.
Yeah, but not well.
No.
They're not great physical comedians, which is a problem.
No. And you can't put a Three Stooges movie in the middle of another movie.
Well, I mean, if it's this movie, you could put anything you want because none of it makes sense anyhow, Dan. Okay.
So they're trying to find the girl to bring her. They're Koopa's cousins, and they work for Koopa, and they're trying to find the girl.
And they just
to bring her
keep
back.
kidnapping the wrong girl? I don't understand.
Which I actually, at one point, they see Bob Hoskins' girlfriend, and they kidnap her, and they're like, "It's in a disguise."
We're in a disguise.
I really like that. I like that a lot. That made a lot of sense to me.
That made a lot of sense to me. But no one else is in disguises in the movie.
Oh.
So it doesn't make any sense, Dan.
But it's
Because the guy, one of them is like, "Oh, she's in a disguise. I've seen it 1,000,000 times," but you don't see it ever.
It's a great contrivance for them to kidnap the wrong person. You're just like, because that's why they have all these other girls. They just kept randomly kidnapping people and
none of them look like Daisy.
No, not
That's
at all.
so bizarre.
See, I love that. I love that aspect of it. It's very absurd. Okay. There it is. Boom, they're on the street. The Mario truck breaks down. And then here comes Daisy having to walk to the payphone because she's trying to call to get more security from things.
Right.
And then Luigi's trying to call somebody.
His own messages. He's trying to check his answering machine messages.
See if they have any
Answering
work.
machine.
And then he lets her use the phone, and then she doesn't have a quarter. Like you're going to go to a walk all the way to a payphone without change.
Away from her dig site, down like a couple of blocks to use a payphone. No money.
He gives her money. You're like, she makes the call. She gets shut down. He flirts with her badly.
Very, very badly. Yeah.
Then she comes over and we'll give you a ride. And then Mario's like, you should.
Which you need to say no to.
Yeah.
As a woman, if 2 creepy guys offer you a ride in their van, he says, "We've got a van." That's a red flag. Okay.
Have big trouble. And then he's like, what about dinner tonight? And then she's like, okay. And he's like, 6 p.m. And she just, like, they don't make a meeting spot, anything. And then what does Bob Hoskins say to him at that point about how he's going to win her over?
I don't know, Dan.
This is a great line. These two worlds. She's like a dinosaur studying college person.
Right.
He's like an idiot that fixes pipes.
And not even that well. He's an apprentice.
Not even good at it.
Let's keep that in mind.
Impress her with your manners.
Oh, that's right. No, I do remember that. Yeah. Which he doesn't even really have any. He's a slob. He's sitting on the couch when we first see him, just like eating his food all over his shirt.
Playing video games all day, says it.
But he wasn't playing video games. That bothered me because he
Oh.
does say like, "Oh yeah, I'm suddenly good at this machine because I play video games all day." And I was like, one, we've never seen you play video games. Two, that the video games don't teach you how to drive this stupid thing. So dumb. So,
Okay.
the one thing I want to say, Dan, the
Yeah.
joke that I liked
Yeah.
was he's checking his messages because Mario's like, "Hey, check if we have any jobs." And as he's looking at Daisy and not listening to the phone, on the phone, this person's yelling about needing I need plumbers. Get all of the plumbers you know. Bring all of the plumbers. Like, it's the
I need
most
them
bizarre
all.
message. It's so weird. Doesn't make any sense. And I want to meet the guy who wrote that message.
That poor guy did not get his plumbers.
He didn't get any plumbers, and he wanted all of them.
So we have the double date. There they are. She's dressed in her same. She doesn't put any new clothes on.
Didn't change at all. Nope. Went straight from the dig site to her brand new date.
Wardrobe's like, you got one outfit. We got three of them. Don't mess them up because that's all you got.
That's it. We're
no! Actually, she gets a weird dress. That's always a thing.
Oh yeah.
Is the bad guy, takes you to his lair and then he puts you in, here comes, opens the box. Here's your dress. Oh man.
Which is done perfectly in Pirates of the Caribbean.
How did, someday we're going to have to unpack what went wrong there. Like, how can you make such a good movie?
Such a perfect blockbuster and then try 8 more times and they're all trash? I don't know.
Was it a really good writer? Did somebody... the writer in that movie
you're right. We'll do a whole 2 months on the Pirates franchise. We'll do every single movie. Yeah, that'd be tough. That's 15 hours.
So she's wearing the magic rock, St. Teresa's, Mario brought me up, and
she never takes it off. But she doesn't know that it's really important.
No.
But she says, I never take it off.
Yeah.
Why?
Why? Well, I mean, maybe she takes it off when she showers. Who knows?
She said never, Dan. I don't know.
I think it's a little absurd to assume, if she's getting a chest x-ray, she probably has to take it off.
She's checking out if she's got lung cancer. She's probably taking it off. Okay, got it.
So Luigi's going to walk her home, and this is the point at which the bad guys kidnap Mario's girlfriend.
Which, by the way, it's a scary moment because he just drops her at the door, walks away. She's looking for her keys. Boom, she's kidnapped. New York's a scary place,
That's
man.
the way it was back then in 1993.
I believe it. That's what I mean. That's terrifying. And then what's even scarier, he has no idea she's there because we don't have cell phones here.
Yeah, no cell phones back
so
then.
Nobody even knows this poor woman's missing.
Oh.
It's pretty messed up.
And he doesn't know she's there until then. He never finds out she's even gone.
They've already rescued Daisy, and then Daisy's like, "Oh, by the way, your girlfriend's over there." And he's like, "Oh my god,
why is her name?
Ridiculous.
Why is her name Daisy?"
In the original games, she was Princess Daisy in the original one, and then Daisy always turns into a Koopa or something, and it's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, your princess is in another castle." You remember that? Anyhow, Daisy's the original, and then Peach came later.
Are they different people?
They are different people. Yeah. I don't know what their each princess is of, because they're both technically princesses. I don't know.
What's that mean?
I don't know.
There should only be room for one princess? What are you saying?
Well, but isn't it all the Mushroom Kingdom? How many princesses are in the Mushroom Kingdom?
Probably a number of them.
A number. Based on what? You're just throwing stuff out. You don't know.
No, I don't know. Okay, they both say to each other, if you want to end this because you think I'm a weirdo, you can end it. She's like, if you think I'm a weirdo, you can end it. And I was like, that's kind of nice.
And I was thinking that's a red flag on both sides. Get out, guys. Everybody get out.
So she's all like, oh, by the way, let's go to the dig site and I can show you what I'm doing. He's like, okay. I go to the dig site. And there's it's very classic dig site. There's just dinosaur bones laying on the ground
just
that
out.
no one has done anything with.
Right. Yep. Nope.
Let's see. Strange new species. She's like, it's almost like a monster trying to be a human being.
And then I look, and then they show the bones, and I was like, "Nope, that's just a dinosaur."
Dinosaur bones.
I don't know. I don't know what you're seeing, lady, other than the opposable thumbs that they said. Which is, it's funny because that's what leads into then showing the other world, I think, right? And then they're like, "Oh, this is what happens when they actually become humans." I don't know.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know what you're talking about, Dan.
So let's see. Boom. Then the two guys run out and they realize that they've sabotaged the water pipes that are in this.
The
subway
other
cave?
plumbing people apparently
Yeah.
have flooded. I don't know why. Why would they do that?
So they're going to go get Mario.
Oh, that's okay. This is actually something that I thought was really funny, and I don't know if they were going for a joke or not.
Yeah.
But she's like, "Hey, do something." And he's like, how would I do? Luigi's, how would I do something? You're a plumber. He's like, "Oh yeah, I know exactly what to do." And then they run all the way home while this thing's flooding to get Mario to come all the way back so that he could do the plumbing. I thought that was actually very funny.
Yeah, it's very weird. So Mario gets there. He does the plumbing, but while they're doing the plumbing, both of them get
The
hit
guys
from
just
behind.
sneak up on him.
And then they grab Daisy and they drag her off.
So they knock Mario and Luigi out and take Daisy.
Ish.
But then Mario and Luigi wake up and Daisy is only 8 seconds ahead of
A
them.
few feet ahead of them. Yeah.
So what happened?
That's what happened, Tony. You just said what
understand.
happened.
Let me just recap.
You just explained exacly what happened.
Just doing a little nutshelling for everybody,
you
just so
just
they all know
explained
what's going on.
You already explained it.
But why?
No, you're asking why. You
Why
explained
did they
what
wake
happened.
up so fast? Shouldn't she be gone? If you get knocked out, don't you stay unconscious for a little bit? It's like they got knocked and they're like, "Oh shit! Oh, I was concussed." I don't know.
We're back.
So
We're both
weird.
back. Okay.
We're back. We're doing fine.
So they give chase, and then Daisy gets. They can't find her, and then they see this wall, and then she comes out the wall somehow, and then gets pulled back in the
Multiple
wall.
times.
And you're kind of like, did the bad guys just sort of have her?
They did. I don't even understand. How is only her face coming through? Because when Mario and Luigi jump through, they disintegrate. And then, what is the word? Reintegrate?
Sure.
Is that the right word? On the other side.
Undisintegrate.
They undisintegrate on the other side. It's not like there's a wall that they can like push through. You know what I mean?
That's
so
typically
how is her
what it
face coming
I
through?
don't know.
All right, well, you're fired.
So Luigi goes for it, and then Mario eventually goes for it.
Yeah, there's a weird scene where Mario's like, "I'm not jumping into it." I don't know why, but he's very against jumping into it. I don't know.
And then when they finally jump, then they fall through this thing, through this weird hell landscape, like they're going to the Spawn hell. It's just like, what?
But then that's not even where they're ending up. So is there a third dimension, Dan?
It's a good question.
Because they disintegrate in dimension A, our dimension. They fall through something else, and then they end up in dimension B.
One other tiny thing: when Daisy stuck her head out, they reached out and grabbed and got the crystal. So our boys
also
have the crystal.
Doesn't make any
right
sense.
now.
Yeah, doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Yeah.
You think the bad guys would secure the crystal once they had Daisy?
Or how would she just get her arm through? None of that makes any sense. They fully... I don't understand it.
So they jump, they fall, they land, and they're like, what is this place? What this place is a giant soundstage with this very terrible looking cityscape built that we know we're going to spend.
How do they not know they're on a sound stage? What a bunch of idiots!
And we know at this point we're going to be stuck here way too much time,
way too long,
and then we're going to be back there later, way too much time.
Yeah. Also, it doesn't look that much different than where they came from, so I don't know.
Blade Runner, I think, is the only movie that's ever pulled off this kind of otherworldly soundstage that you're like, okay, I buy this.
Yeah, all right. I can give it to you.
You know, you go watching Streets of Fire or one of these other 80s, 90s movies. You ever watch Streets of Fire? It's okay.
No, should I? Oh,
it's okay. Yeah. They do this in movies, and it's usually just terrible.
Sure.
They see little tiny dinosaurs fighting. Two times they say, "This is crazy."
Yeah. Dan, I have a question
Okay.
because the beings on this planet have evolved from dinosaurs.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
But there are also still dinosaurs.
Yep.
What happened to why are those dinosaurs still dinosaurs? I guess I have the same question about apes, right?
We still
Why
have
do
apes
we still
here.
have apes?
So shut up,
That's cool.
Tony. You just
So I
answered
don't
your own
understand.
stupid question.
You know what? I take it back. Evolution, not real.
Evolution, not real.
It's not real.
We got one final line before we're going to cut and see what King Koopa's up to.
We do?
We're not in Brooklyn no more.
Yeah.
No,
good.
don't write that line.
Don't worry. Maybe someone didn't write it. That might have been an ad lib. You know what I mean?
They could have been drunk off their asses and they ad-libbed that shit.
So okay, yeah, I would like to talk about that real quickly because when I watch this movie, I would believe Leguizamo is tipsy. I would believe that
Bob
because he's a
Hoskins.
little loosey goosey, but Hoskins is still very put together.
I don't know anything about Bob Hoskins, but got
He might be an alcoholic.
be an
He might be a
alcoholic.
functioning alcoholic.
like a super highly functioning alcoholic. That's my guess.
I think that's probably fair.
We're not slandering him. I think he's dead.
No. Oh, is he? Oh, sorry, Bob.
We're not trying to slander
He's
him.
great.
He's an incredible actor. He's
Yeah,
an
he's great.
incredible actor.
Even in this terrible movie, sometimes I'm like, yeah, he's good. I get it.
Where he
I
may
get
well
it.
be very, very drunk. Hits his mark, says his lines.
Nails it
Unbelievable.
every time. The character never falters. Like he knows this guy.
So we set up that now we go see Koopa, which is Dennis Hopper with the weird hairdo.
Because he's a dinosaur. I don't know.
Dennis may be the worst part of this movie.
He doesn't want to be there, right?
Yeah, totally didn't want to be there.
Okay.
Him in this and in Waterworld, he's just there are aspects of
Waterworld.
rough movies that are even rougher because
I still haven't seen Waterworld, and I need to.
you should see Waterworld.
I want to. I love Kevin Costner.
Waterworld, there's a really good movie in there, but it makes very similar mistakes to this and doesn't play the reality of it. And the reality of it is super interesting, and Costner's really good. He's really good. I'm not a super big
it's
fan of his.
Costner, man.
When he's,
Wait, what?
When he's, I mean, I hated Dances with Wolves more than anything.
Okay. I mean, I'm not gonna argue with it. I think that's fine. I think that's okay. But if you also then tell me that you don't like Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, then we're gonna fight.
Oh yeah, I hate Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves.
What are you talking about? The movie's phenomenal.
No, see, it's too cartoonish.
Oh boy.
Costner is good when Costner is playing in a very specifically real world. I mean,
Have you seen Draft Day? Just to be totally out of left field,
What's
it's
that?
it's the NFL draft.
Oh.
He's the Cleveland Browns
I'm sure
manager.
he's incredible.
It's one of my favorite movies. I watch it. It's my plane movie. I watch it on almost every plane ride I go on. It's so good. Anyhow,
Yeah,
sorry.
I
Continue.
mean, and the one in the Field of Dreams one, he's perfection. And in the one that I really like was the one where he's the CIA agent in the thing or whatever, and they're looking for the guy that killed the woman. It's him and Gene Hackman. Oh, if you haven't seen that movie.
Yeah.
And they know they're looking for him, and he's trying to make it so they don't find him, and just like he's so good. But when when it's like a little off like that, it just Robin Prince of Thieves, it's not real.
It's a perfect film. It's a perfect film. Yeah.
Goofy.
No, it's perfect. It's so good. And Bodyguard? You like Bodyguard, right?
It's great.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that when he's
Is
playing
it No Way Out?
No Way Out, yeah. When
Okay,
he's playing
let's
it
go.
pretty darn, it's a straight movie. You do not get better than Kevin Costner.
Yeah, I do love. Do you watch Yellowstone?
I have not watched that.
Oh shit!
Is it good?
You should watch
Is he
Yellowstone.
great?
Yellowstone's he's so good. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's shitty people doing shitty things while protecting land or whatever, but it's a great show.
And that's
I love it.
what
show.
you hire a guy like him for.
Yeah.
He's going to give it to you. And, he's got that gravitas and that
Oh,
believability.
he's gonna give it to you, Dan, and you're gonna like it. Who do you think hated their life more?
Who do you think hated their life more?
Dennis Hopper in this movie
Yes.
or Whoopi Goldberg in Teddy Rex?
Whoopi, because she had to be in the
You know,
whole movie.
movie-
She's in the whole
Yeah,
movie.
you're right. That's true. She
She
was
had-
there every day.
She had to
Yeah.
carry that. She's in like every scene. That's
Oh.
hateful. And say what you want about this movie, that Theodore Rex much worse than this movie.
Yeah, but here's the
They're
thing.
very
I think
similar.
about Teddy Rex all the time.
These two,
I think about that movie a lot, Dan. I kind of love it, I think.
they're very similar movies in their terribleness. There's a lot of interest. It's a lot of interesting terrible.
Yeah. Anyhow, sorry. I've derailed this.
Uninteresting terrible is what we don't want.
Yeah. No, thank you.
Okay. So Koopa just sort of lays out some of the stuff about the merging of the worlds and all this, and he kind of wants to get with Daisy.
Yeah, I mean, everybody seems to kind of want to get with Daisy.
She's pretty cute
Do we ever talk about why she's a princess?
because her mom was, royalty,
But they don't seem to have royalty.
and her dad's the king.
But they don't seem to have because he. Okay,
He's King
so
Koopa, although he gets
so you're
elected.
saying, yeah, right? Because there's like vote Koopa signs.
Dude, if you try to like figure out the mixed messages of this guy, it's like
some of this is happening in real time, Dan.
yeah,
Just so
I
you know.
understand, but it's like vote Koopa. It's like who's voting? Why are they voting? He's the king. They don't vote for
Right.
him.
They call him King Koopa, right?
Yeah,
So confused.
and because it's hereditary, and everyone's cousins, and if you
My
try
brother cousin.
if you're trying to analyze that, so
All right.
they find out that the plumbers have the rock, and he's like, "Plumber alert!" And they're gotta find
Which
the
is
plumbers.
one of the best jokes of the whole movie.
The
He-
plumber-
to me,
what,
I
does he-
laughed really hard.
does he say
It's
that?
like, plumber alert, set a plumber alert. And I was like, what the fuck are you talking? As if that's a thing.
And there's some goofiness like that you're like, I wish this was what the movie was.
I really do.
So it's
really
a
do.
2,000 coin reward. They sort of hear that they're looking for the plumbers, and it doesn't dawn on them that they're the ones being
They're
looked at.
the plumbers. Yep. Nope. Sure doesn't.
We see a hot dog is made with 3 tiny lizards.
Yeah, I didn't like that.
And then this old lady tries to rob them. And then
Which was so weird.
and then they find
Why?
out. Then this other woman, Big Bertha, who's this large African American woman in red leather,
Yeah.
sees them, and then she grabs the crystal and then uses like jumping boots to jump to safety.
Which is, I don't even. Why does she have rocket powered boots? I don't understand any of the choices that are made here.
Oh no!
Why is the old lady robbing them? No, but it's not like everybody is trying to rob people, right?
Well, this whole world is really weird. Isn't there some point at which a guy's riding a bicycle and he just crashes into something and then like falls to his
Yes.
death?
That is correct. And I don't know why. I don't know why these decisions are made or what they have to do with anything.
You think back on a great movie like Escape from New York, right? Where they get to New
Yeah.
York and there's like this whole new set of rules.
Yeah.
And the rules make some sense. This movie, they get to this other world and nothing makes sense, and it's insanity.
Yeah. Okay. I try every time I try to think about what is going on. It physically hurts my brain. And it's a small brain. I would be one of the de-evolutionized people. I'll say that, but it's still tough. Sorry.
That's fine. You can finish your thought.
It was a different thought. I was just going to talk about Big Bertha now as
Okay,
well.
talk about Big Bertha.
So Big Bertha in the games, if I'm not mistaken,
Who's Big Bertha in the games?
the big red fish that eats people was originally called Big Bertha, and then we changed the name to like some other fish name. But I'm pretty sure it was the big red fish that ate things. And
Yeah,
then they turned
yeah,
that into
yeah.
a large woman.
It is.
And I
It is a
just
big
thought
red
that
fish
was
that eats
very
things.
weird. Yeah.
It's a big boss that comes, and it's a big fish. Yeah.
So that just felt kind of weird to me that they turned that into like a large woman. I don't know. I just thought that might not have been the right choice.
I read one of the things and they were like, we're trying to have a multiracial cast. And that was how they fit it in.
That was it. Just the one. Great job.
And wait a second.
Oh, the 80s.
Now I'm confused because she's like a secondary love interest to Mario.
Yeah. Yeah, the fish. Yeah.
Yeah. The fish.
Yeah, the fish. You get it. You get it.
You want to talk about the Toad? Toad walks up and starts singing them a song.
Okay. Yeah. So, and I don't remember the song. I wish I remembered it because I like it a lot.
Yeah.
And I think there's a line in there that I was like, that's a good line. But I don't know why he's singing to them.
That is Mojo Nixon.
Stand by. I'm going to type that into
Mojo
Google.
Nixon was a kind of folk comedy singer that was around in like the 80s and 90s. And we played his record on college radio and everybody loved Mojo Nixon. And I don't know what happened to him. And
well, he did this movie.
But, you know, he was like a college radio, alternative radio staple kind of person. And everybody knew who Mojo Nixon was. And that's why it's great to see him. And he's kind of like equivalent of Tone Loc.
Sure. Well, I love a Tone Loc.
And Blank Check had Tone Loc in it. So he's this sort of comedy person that you could bring in. And he's probably said, I'll do the movie if you let me do a song. And they're like, sure, do a song. It'll be great.
And it was better than most of the dialogue in the whole movie.
Yeah, he's great.
So
Mojo
good
Nixon.
Job, Mojo Nixon. I'll have to check him out later.
And when they ruin him so quickly, I was so disappointed.
Immediately. He sings half a song, and I wish it was the full song, and then they kidnap him and they turn him into a dinosaur.
So they grab him. The police show up. They arrest them all. And then we get this crazy police car ride where they're like, for no reason. No reason, crazy music.
None at all.
You want to talk about the crazy Danny Elfman music?
This isn't Danny Elfman.
No, but it's faux Danny Elfman music.
Well, sure, but if someone was on a lot of ayahuasca maybe while they made it, I don't know. It's crazy. It is wild. Even the music. It feels so intense, and there's nothing intense happening on the screen usually, and it's discombobulating how like let's go music. I don't know. It scares
just
me.
For a drive to the police station, and they're going they're going so fast that they have to use one of those wires like they do on aircraft carriers to stop the car.
To stop, yeah. Well, yeah, I don't know.
Another thing is, like cable cars, they have like the things up there that would collect the energy, but they never touch anything.
They don't connect anything. Yeah, they just hang out in the air. I don't understand what's going on. I thought maybe they were like RC cars, remote controlled, but they weren't. I got nothing.
They put them in cages. We find out that the fungus, I think Mojo Nixon tells us all this, the fungus is choking the city, but the fungus is good.
Right, which doesn't make any sense.
And we're going to come to find out that the old king of the place has been turned into the fungus, which now infects the entire city. And then he keeps trying to give the Mario Brothers stuff for them to use.
Which, what a wild idea. Where did that come from?
I don't know.
People that wrote this movie.
This is where it came from. This is right at the point where they discovered that there was this giant fungus, which was miles across, like in the rainforest or someplace, like under the ground. There's like this giant fungus that went on forever.
Okay.
And so then that's the whole idea.
But it doesn't give people things?
No, Tony, it does not give people things.
Well, I'm disappointed with this real life fungus then. Shoot.
So they go into this room, and there is Dennis Hopper, King Koopa, but instead he introduces himself as Larry Lazard and is sort of acting like their lawyer for 1 second.
Sort of, just for a half a beat.
Yep. And we don't even go anywhere with this, and then immediately he's like, where's my meteorite piece?
Yep. Yep. I don't know.
And then we know he's King Koopa, and so they're like, to the de-evolution chamber.
And so there's a weird recurring theme where Dennis Hopper seems to be a germaphobe.
Well, he's afraid of the fungus, but he goes in a room with the fungus, and it doesn't
All
make
the
any
time.
sense. Yes,
He talks to the fungus face to face all the time.
I would never go in there if it was.
No thanks. I don't know, man. This movie doesn't make any sense.
So they take them down to the de-evolution chamber. They put Toad in it first. They turn Toad into a Koopa. The Koopas
And
are...
then Toad delivers the best
Oh,
line
okay.
of the whole movie.
What is that?
Right before. You don't remember this?
I have two other best lines of the movie, so
All right.
I don't remember this.
Hold on. Let me find it here. There it is. He's in the chair. He's about to get taken over, and he's like, no, King Koopa, you're a lousy leader. It's a direct quote.
What does that
A
mean?
lousy leader. That's his insult to King Koopa before he dies. You're a lousy leader. It's
He's
just so good.
He's questioning his leadership ability.
His leadership.
There it
I
is.
don't even understand.
Cut him right to the core.
He's about to take away your brain, your livelihood, and all you're thinking is, you are not a great leader, sir. Oh,
the other
it's so
the
good.
other thing they said was they wanted this movie to be like The Wizard of Oz.
Well, they failed. In what way?
I don't know. Man.
What? Give me any parallels between the two films, and I will buy it.
There's a
I see zero.
king. No, there's no king in Wizard of Oz.
No, there's a guy behind a curtain.
There's a balloon. There's a witch. There's none of these things.
There's water. Water melts the witch.
There's
I don't know.
there's not really water in this movie either, is there?
Well, when they're plumbing,
yeah, plumbing.
right? There's water, but it's used in not similar ways.
So yes, so he becomes a Goomba, which are men in gigantic suits with little tiny either reptile heads or two different types of reptile. One's a dinosaur
Yeah.
head, and the other's like a round ball lizard head.
Yeah. Now, why did they also grow about 6 inches to a foot, Dan?
So that you could put a human being in there,
No, hold on.
and it could walk around like this and look really weird.
I know the real life reason why
That is
that
the
happened.
reason why that happened.
But don't you think that did nobody see this and be like, okay, well, we put Mojo Nixon in the chair, and then he comes out 1.5 feet taller and about 20 inches wider on his on his chest.
We need to find out if Mojo Nixon's still alive.
Oh, okay.
Let's look up Mojo Nixon, because if he's still alive, come on,
Yeah.
Mojo, be alive.
He's alive. He's 65
No,
years
that's
old.
not very old at all. We got to do the thing. Someday we'll get a response. We're gonna contact Mojo Nixon and ask him if he had to go wear the suit, or if
Is
if
he
was
in
just
the
there.
suit?
Yeah.
All right. He either did 1 day of filming or he was in that suit for 6 months. I don't know.
Okay. So they devolve. Okay. So he goes and joins the other Koopas, and then
Right. Yep.
they just sort of grab the king, throw him in the de-evolution thing, and do it to him. But there's like all these Koopas there that would just come over here and help them.
Well, Koopas are very stupid.
Wait,
That we've
oh,
learned.
wait, he's King Koopa, and they're Goombas. Sorry,
Yes, they're
they're
Goombas.
Goombas. The Goombas don't even
Yeah.
come over and help their king.
No, not at all. Because they're dumb. Here's the thing. He's not mind controlling them, right? He's just made them dumb. That's not a good plan.
So they devolve him, and what effect does that have?
But not
devolving him?
really. They only they devolve him to the point where his eye quickly becomes a dinosaur eye and then goes back to normal. So did he re-evolve?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
And then
doesn't make any sense.
They are basically escape, and then the fungus tries to give them a bob-omb, but they don't take it.
Also, why is the bomb so small? It's like this. It's 2 inches big. A bomb is huge in the game. You got to carry it with 2 hands above your head.
And also later, did you notice that the bob-omb becomes like a bullet guy?
Oh, I didn't even realize that.
Yeah.
But sure.
He pulls
yeah.
out what we think was the bob-omb, but really it's a bullet, and then he puts it in the gun. It's like really
Oh my god, I don't even remember that.
weird.
Yeah.
Okay, so they ride a thing. What was that? What did they ride? I guess they get in the cop car.
Is this where they ride like the magic carpet?
Oh no, they jump up there and they're on this thing. And it's like,
Oh yeah, they're on the zip line. Yeah. The zip line.
And there's like fireballs, and then they steal a car, and then inside
Yep.
Luigi can work the car because he understands video games.
Which is not how anything works.
And then Mario says, Luigi, we're the aliens. Because they're the aliens in this world. Okay.
Which is not technically correct, right? Because
They're not aliens. No,
they're interdimensional travelers.
Yes. Then I wrote circus music car chase.
Yeah. No, that sums it up.
And he's like, take the park. Luigi's like, take the parkway. And he's like, I'm taking the tunnel. And they take the tunnel instead.
And Luigi's like, that's what I wanted you to do the whole time.
And then they
why is that in there?
Shoot out off of a cliff, and they get caught by the fungus.
Yep.
And
as they fall to their death.
They refer to it as
saves them.
A giant booger.
Booger. Yep. Which is, I guess, a good joke for kids.
So at one point, we see a globe, which is the planet that they're on. And there's one city, and then the rest of the city is desert. The rest of the world is desert.
Yeah, exactly. So when they come to our world, it's going to be a lot bigger. It's going to be a bit of a shock to Mr. King Koopa.
So they're going to send Iggy and Spike to the desert, and Koopa's having a mud bath with Lena, who's his wife.
Great question. Don't know the answer because they're in a weird relationship either way.
And for a second there, I thought Lena was Daisy's mom, but she's not. We never find out who Daisy's mom is. We never talk about who her mom is, and we never find out.
That's a good point. Yeah, no, we don't do that at all, do we?
So Lena's taking Daisy somewhere. Come with me. Koopa goes and evolves Spike, and it evolves Iggy, and then they're going to go to the desert to find the Super Mario Brothers.
Yeah, I guess so. When they
hold on a second. Why do they need the Super Mario Brothers?
Because they still believe that they have the Rock at this point.
Why would they think they have the Rock? They've been in prison.
I don't know the answer. I'm just telling you. You asked what the movie said, and that's what the movie did.
So I guess they must think that the Mario Brothers were able to tell them where the Rock is, even though they've never asked them.
Oh, yeah, I guess that makes sense. Yeah, it's probably that. Yeah. Some way or the other, the Mario Brothers lead to the Rock.
Yeah.
Here's my question.
What's your question, Tony?
When you de-evolve somebody, their head turns into a dinosaur head.
Dinosaur.
But when you evolve someone further, nothing changes.
They just stay as human beings.
What is that? That doesn't make any sense.
They couldn't afford new makeups for evolving.
But you're telling me that the people that wrote this movie think that the humans are the most evolved we're going to get? This is it? This is the end game?
In the Outer Limits, the guy gets a big brain head, and he gets he gets another finger. I think he has a sixth
I would love an extra finger.
No, you wouldn't.
I can do so many things with another finger.
You really want another finger? I don't want another finger.
No, why? I can't even control all these.
Yeah, it'd be gross.
It'd be gross.
So Lena is dressing up Daisy in her mom's old dress, which I think is them getting her ready to have sex with Koopa is my only guess.
Yeah, that sounds right, because it was creepy when he was in the mud. He's like, get her ready. So, yeah, maybe. Who was Aunt Petunia to her mom? That's
Lena.
who she plays in Harry Potter. What's her name in this movie? Lena.
Oh, I think Lena.
She says she knows her mom.
I think Lena's her aunt. That's what I think.
Well, that's not a very nice aunt then.
No,
Jesus.
not really.
Okay.
That's my assumption. That's her mom's sister.
I'll allow it.
We can ask Mojo Nixon that when we get in touch with
I'm going to send him a list of questions. I'm sure he's going to love it.
Dear Mojo. Okay. So, start with the desert. They're walking around the desert like Osama was taking his shirt off. Finally. They're making a handheld de-evolution gun just to add more stuff into the mix.
But how would that even work, you guys? What happens if you shoot it and you miss someone's head?
Well, we know what happens if you shoot someone with it. They have one at the end.
What happens? I don't remember.
Turns you into a monkey.
Well, that's if you're a human. Sure. I mean, what if you miss the human and you hit something else? What does the gun do? What are the effects of the gun?
Probably turns you into those little tiny dinosaurs that were fighting at the beginning.
Oh, okay. So you're thinking that those were once evolved and now they're de-evolved.
Yeah,
I see where your head's at.
that was foreshadowing.
So now what is Yoshi? You know what I mean? Who knows?
What is Yoshi? Yoshi is a special effect that they paid for no reason.
But it looks pretty good.
It's a good-looking dinosaur.
Not when they do the CGI when it's in the wide, but when they do the close-up of the head and it's the animatronic.
They made
nice.
3 puppets of the Yoshi, and
they
spent a lot of money on that Yoshi. And
it looks pretty good.
I think they said the Jurassic Park people came and asked about it.
I think that makes sense because it does look very OG JP, you know? But here's the thing is why? Why would you spend all that money and not use that character on any level?
The princess meets Yoshi. Yoshi's a pet of the royal family. Dennis Hopper comes in there. You're so fresh, so clean.
So fresh, so clean, baby.
He's about to kiss her, and then he just sort of changes his mind and then take her away.
Why? None of that made any sense.
It was a scene without any sense to be made.
The guy's been waiting to make out with this lady all movie. Finally gets his chance, and he's like, nah, I'm not going to do it.
Now we cut there must be more of the desert scenes, because the desert scenes...
Somewhere on the cutting room floor.
Because we cut there, and here's Spike and Iggy and Spike. They're in this weird little 6-wheel vehicle, and they're like...
Yeah.
They spin it around, say 2 or 3 lines, and then they drive it off of a cliff.
Yep. There you go. Isn't that a great scene, Dan?
And then they're trapped in quicksand. Which
is just so weird. There is quicksand in the game in Super Mario 3.
There's so much you could do with this desert. Make like a one of the big cactus people.
That's what I was looking for the whole time. Those are some of my favorite bad guys. Or the sun that chases you. All good options. None of this happens. It's just the quicksand for no reason.
They're quicksand. They're like, talk. And then they talk. And then they get them out.
And then they talk.
And then they're like, who has the stone? And they're like, we'll tell you. Big Bertha has it.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks. Look, I guess we should have just asked you at some point, and you probably would have told us.
So now we established that Daisy's in this big high-rise. She's been bonding with Yoshi. Okay.
Yeah, great. Best friends.
Now we have this wacky scene where they steal a truck to drive back into the city.
Yeah. Yep.
And they put on the masks and trick the guards.
Why? Why is any of this happening?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
I like that you are laughing. You seem to have not enjoyed yourself in the movie, but you were just kind of along for the ride. Every decision they made, I was just like, why is this happening?
It's because you got to fill pages with stuff to do in a movie.
I mean, I guess you're right about that.
Nothing is happening in your movie. Dennis Hopper has to bring a girl in there, almost kiss her, and then immediately say, take her away.
No thanks. Pass.
Not for a reason. No.
Bad breath. Get her out of here.
The fungus could have dropped on him and he'd be like, I need a bath. Whatever.
Great. Yeah, I love that.
A million things could have happened that would have made him want to
end that scene. But they did not.
But instead,
it did not happen.
Somebody wrote on a piece of paper, just yell, take her away.
Just yell. Just say it, man. Just say it. I don't know.
And now they're back in town. They're at the club. And you want to talk
Boys are back in town.
You want to talk about their outfits, Tony?
Is this when they change into the
ketchup,
the plumber outfits?
No, ketchup and mustard.
Okay. Oh, like the suit ones. Yeah. Well, they're wrong because Luigi's in a red suit and Mario's in a yellow suit.
Why would they be in those colors?
Why? There's no earthly reason that this is what you've dressed these characters in. It doesn't make any sense at all. I don't know, man. The people that made this movie have a lot of explaining to do.
Okay, do you want to talk about what happens in the club, Tony?
What happens in the club? I don't even know if I remember all this.
Mario walks up to Big Bertha, and Big Bertha punches him.
Oh, this is where he says the line, "No woman can resist the charm of Mario." And then he goes up to her and he is no charm whatsoever. He's just like, "Hey, what's going on, lady?" And then she punches him. And then he comes back and he's like, "Hey."
Hey, lady, I'm Mario.
Hey,
I'm
lady.
amazing. Bam.
Socks him in the face. And then he comes back and he's like, "Hey, you want to sock me in the face one more time? I kind of like it," which I get. Let me be honest.
Like
I get that.
I knew you were going to really respond to that line.
I understand his desire to go back for more. That's the one part of this movie that I was on board with, and I was 100% ready to do the same.
God.
Hello, Big Bertha.
Then she's like, "Dance with me." Then immediately it was like rockin' music, and then it goes to slow music, slow dance.
Music.
She pulls him in.
And then they have the weirdest dance scene of all time.
It's, there's this, a real director would have directed this scene where he surreptitiously tries to steal the stone because she's got the stone
which is
around her
a fun
neck.
scene. That's a fun scene to shoot.
We've seen it in movies before.
That's not what we shot here.
This is the most clumsy, weird. He tries to take it with his mouth.
His mouth on her, just in her cleavage. It's so weird.
He could just reach out and grab it and run. Instantly, he could do this.
Yeah, at any time. At any time, that would be the move. Oh, gosh, these guys.
And so once they have the stone, what do they institute to escape with the stone? And what song do they play while they're doing it?
I don't know.
They institute the old classic of the football play.
The football play. Sure. Yeah. Hut. Now,
why would these characters institute the classic football play?
Well, because they're plumbers, Dan.
And more importantly, what's the song that they do while this is going on?
Is it a football song?
George Clinton, Walk the Dinosaur. Everybody walk that dinosaur. Get up, get off the floor. Everybody walk that dinosaur.
Oh, I do remember that song, yeah. I mean, that makes sense because this movie's full of dinosaurs. And they're taking them for walks periodically. No, I have no idea. This is so weird.
Then the police show up, or whatever the equivalent is.
I just want to say, did you notice that the police jackets on the back, the police is spelt out in rhinestones? Somebody just fucking glued little gems on a jacket and spelled police. It's so good.
There's some weird stuff in this movie. And
I thought that was the coolest costumes I've ever seen.
And at this point, Big Bertha then decides to help them.
For no reason, because he just betrayed her and left her on the dance floor, and she's like all sad. And then seconds later, she's like, "Hey, come on in here. I'll help you."
But what does she say, Tony?
Oh, I don't know.
She
what
says,
does she say?
"Over here, pudgy buns."
Oh, that's...
And I thought of you, Tony.
I thought, yeah, I wouldn't hate that nickname. If my wife wanted to say that to me, I'd allow it.
And then does she give him jumping boots, or what does she give him? She gives him something.
No, I think she gives him the rocket boots, right?
Oh, rocket boots.
I think that's what they are. I don't know. I'm making shit up.
So that's that. Koopa goes and visits the old king and says a bunch of words to him.
When does Koopa order pizza? Is that now?
That's the next scene.
Okay.
You're sitting there, and Koopa, we spend a minute, 90 seconds, Koopa ordering a pizza. And then through the rest of the movie,
Koopa special.
He keeps on kind of re-referring to waiting for his pizza. And you're just like, I am so confused.
It's a good running bit. I don't know, Dan. But I got confused because he's like, "Hey, it's King Koopa. I'd like the Koopa special."
And it's like
he's got his own pizza. This is great stuff.
And it's like a nerdy guy, nerdy surf guy. You're just like, wait, what?
No, it's so weird. Oh God, this movie is so crazy. I love it.
Okay, so they get to the big building that they're going to have to go up to get to Daisy.
Just like in all the Mario games when there's huge skyscrapers you have to go up.
He sees all the pipes in there. That was a joke,
Oh.
right, Tony? It's a joke. That's why I didn't laugh.
Yeah, that's a joke. Yeah,
That's why no one laughed.
Yeah. It's a joke, Dan. Ha!
He sees all these pipes and he's like, a plumber's nightmare. Like, yeah,
What does
nice.
Luigi say?
I don't know.
Must have been a union job. I like that as well.
That's
I
a
thought
good
that
joke.
was a couple of good lines
See, that's
there.
the thing is, there's a few good lines packed away in this movie, and if they'd
Sure.
had room to be delivered in a
Yeah,
fun
yeah.
way, if the performers were enjoying themselves,
Or not drunk off their ass. I don't know.
So then he's like, "This is the big plan. What we're gonna do is we're gonna lock off all the pipes, and it's gonna get cold." What does that cold play in the movie?
None. I don't even know if they did the plan. Did they do the plan?
At a couple of times, you could see things frosted over.
Friends. Okay.
Didn't have
must
any
have just not
effect
paid
on
attention.
anything. Didn't slow
All
down
right.
any dinosaurs. Didn't put them to sleep like it might. None of these things.
No.
Then they see us, some lockers, and they're like, ah. And this is when they go and they put on their proper
Wait.
Mario suits.
We're missing something that I did want to talk
Okay.
about, Dan.
Good, thank
In
God.
the pipe, it's in the pipe scene.
Because we're almost down to the last page. But, let's go back.
Okay, I'm going to extend it.
go
Yeah, let
back.
me extend this a little
Tony,
bit. 'cause
Tony hasn't talked
people
enough. He's
people
gotta-
want to keep hanging out with us, Dan. They're not ready to say goodbye yet. So they're in the pipes, and Mario's like, when they're doing the plan.
Yeah.
And Luigi's got to go do the pipe, and he's like, oh, I don't have my
Oh,
tools.
tools, yeah.
And Mario's like, you got to treat your tools like your friends. Always have them with you.
Which should have been a line at the very beginning of the movie for some reason.
Thank you. My God. And because then Luigi says, Mario, you always have a saying for every situation about tools. And we've never heard him say anything before about tools.
It's like a setup for a series of jokes throughout the entire movie.
So it felt like bad improv to me, where it's the guy's like, oh, I found the game of the scene. Let's play this. And then they don't even play it.
Unfortunately, there's a half an hour left of the movie, and then they never play the game.
They never bring it back. I don't know. It's so weird. I imagine at one point there were more of those in the movie,
yeah.
and then they were just
Got 'em
taken
all.
out
Got all
over
those-
and over.
cut
We don't
those
need
jokes.
that fluff. Oh, it's so bizarre.
If you're getting screwed, you better have a screwdriver. Stab somebody with a screwdriver.
Mario,
Mario, you
you've always got.
and your crazy tool talk. What are you doing? It's amazing. Spanner's going to help us get across this span of distance. Oh, Spanner. Excellent.
I get it, Mario. That's a good tool, jokes.
A tape measure. Now we know how big things are. Oh my God, now we know how big things are. This is incredible, Mario.
All right, we got 3 now. That's a good script. Let's put it in. Oh God, these guys.
None of them are funny, but what the hell? Brooklyn,
Keep
New
them
York.
coming. Keep them coming.
Okay. Lock up the pipes. Then they get in the elevator and there's 2 Goombas. And then more Goombas get in and they kind of maneuver behind them. I like this scene because it was very interesting.
Do you like the end of the scene?
And then at a certain point, Luigi starts making them dance, and they're all dancing, and then they're playing. What's the song? I wrote down the song.
Oh, I didn't notice what song it was.
Somewhere, my love, doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. And he gets them all rocking, dancing, and I don't know. I really liked it. I mean, they kind of used it to maneuver their escape, except they crawled on the floor, so they didn't really use it.
They could have just come in the same way went out the same way they came in, because they snuck in, Dan. But instead, they're all slow dancing with each other. I don't understand what's happening.
Lena then tries to kill Daisy because she doesn't want Daisy sleeping with.
Yeah,
Koopa.
I still don't quite understand the situation between those 3.
No, doesn't make sense.
I don't know if it's like a cuck situation.
Oh, what, Tony? What word did you just use?
I said a cuck, but it's different because I don't know what the female version of that is. I guess so. If like Koopa made her watch him be with other, I don't know.
Emasculated.
Sure, yeah. It's good.
Jesus. Cuck situation. Really, Tony? Jesus.
Sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry,
You're a
everybody.
dirty boy, and that's.
Dirty birdie.
And then Yoshi attacks, and then she stabs Yoshi. like
Yeah, what the
seemingly in the
fuck?
neck, which I think would have killed Yoshi.
He's probably dead. If there's a sequel, he's not in it. Let's just say that.
Daisy escapes. Toad catches on fire.
Which I didn't.
Didn't
Yeah,
quite
that
understand
doesn't
that.
matter. Yeah,
And then
I don't know.
Toad sort of takes her to her father, the fungus.
Yeah.
Our Mario brothers get to this gap, and they're like, "We gotta go for it. We gotta jump." And Luigi's like, "You gotta have faith." And he jumps, and then he's like, "I'm flying. I'm flying." And then,
And Mario refuses to jump again. I don't know why. This guy's just
well,
he's
because
a
he's not an
naysayer.
idiot. Because then he's about to jump, and then Luigi realizes he's on a hook, which he would have felt.
Something like that. Yeah.
If you're flying, you're flying. If you feel,
If you're getting hung by something,
you know,
you're
there's
getting
something. You
pulled.
know that. Oh shit! A hook.
Yeah.
And so then he.
Oh shit!
So
a
then
hook.
Mario falls, and then there's a fungus trampoline down there. Trampoline, and then Luigi catches him, and they get across.
Yeah. So when I just wanted to say this, and because I feel like I must have missed something, but when Daisy goes to the goo, that was the first time I learned that was the father.
Oh, okay.
I was shocked.
Oh,
I wrote down, wait, the goo is her father?
yeah. I think
What the fuck is going on? But they must have said it
we
earlier.
established that earlier. You're just
All right.
paying it. You're probably asleep.
It was a tough movie for me to get through.
So Daisy's doing computer stuff.
Because she also plays video games, so she knows computers in and out.
That's why her and Luigi are a perfect match. I thought it was going to come out that they were brother and sister.
Sure, yeah. Someone should be related in this fucking movie called Mario Brothers.
So everybody meets up there, and then they immediately split up.
As you do. That's usually the best plan.
Daisy
plan
and
of
Luigi
action. Split
immediately
up.
get caught. Prepare for the invasion. Lena gets caught. Mario finds the girls, and they escape. And then we have Tony's favorite part, the crazy pipe ride on the mattress.
Oh, boy.
Kind of like this reminded me of the snowball scene in Willow. Same scene.
Oh, sure.
Stupid.
Yeah.
Stupid.
Yeah, I was trying to think why this would happen, right? And the only thing I could think of is that I'm pretty sure there is a magic carpet on a Mario level that you would ride. And I don't totally remember. Maybe it's when I don't know. I don't know what is happening. Let me just say that. Are you going to see if there's a magic carpet ride? Okay.
Quick.
Yeah, let me know. It's certainly not a mattress.
Mario's
but-
magic carpet.
Okay, so yeah, I guess.
There's like this
It's
little
a-
weird bird on a magic carpet. Looks,
Yeah, and then you like knock it off or something. You steal it.
No, it looks like it's a thing
No?
from TV show, animated Mario cartoon.
Oh, the Super Mario Brothers Super Show.
Mario's Magic Carpet, written by Roby Gorin. So
Oh,
we
boy.
have to talk to Roby
right.
Gorin.
All right, Roby,
give
what's
us
going on?
some more
Yeah.
information. Oh,
I don't know.
no. There's in one of the games, I think it was Super Mario 2. There was this little bird on a magic carpet, and he
Yeah.
threw shit down at you.
Yeah.
He's a little fucker. He's an asshole.
He's a little fucker, that guy.
I remember that guy being a real dick.
So that was the only thing I could come up with that might have inspired this ridiculous sequence of events that I hated more than anything else in the movie.
So that's all you want to say about it?
Do you want to talk? What do you got?
It was
Lay it on me.
dumb.
Uh-oh, Dan's tie-tie.
I'm always tired.
Num, num, num.
Koopa has the stone. Okay, everyone in city looks like I win, shoots Koopa with a boot. Okay, so now we're back in the city. Everybody's back, we're in the big
okay.
city. And
Yeah.
Koopa's like gonna win, and so he takes the rocket boot and he puts a bullet bob. What's the bullets called? Bullet guy.
Yeah.
What's the bullets called in
Yeah.
Mario? Bullet.
Bill.
Bullet bill. Puts the bullet
Yeah.
bill in there, and then he shoots him with the boot. Lena falls and gets zapped. Lena versus Luigi and the girls. I don't know what's happening.
Your confusion while you're reading your own notes is just explains this movie to a T, I think.
I don't know if this is when. No, I don't think he's. Whatever. So they loose this bomb, and it's going towards Koopa, and then it falls, and he's like, "Aha! You're stupid." Lena's downstairs trying to push the piece into the thing, and she can't do it, and she gets zapped and turned into bones in the wall.
Yeah, dead.
But I think succeeds in getting it in. Yeah, she does succeed in getting it in, and then
because
the
they
merge
start
begins.
to disintegrate.
Yeah, so the merge begins, and then Mario and Koopa go to Brooklyn. Maybe there's a couple of Goombas there too, and Scarpelli's there. They de-evolve Scarpelli into a monkey.
Yeah.
And then they go back.
Which is, by the way, that monkey is adorable because it's wearing an adult-sized suit. Not quite an adult, but a suit that's too big for it, and it's like jumping around. It's very cute.
So then they go back because I think Luigi has used the tools properly to extract the thing.
I think he said, I'm going to drill it out, which I didn't totally understand.
He tried to drill,
then
he used this little extractor thing, which maybe those are plumbing tools. I don't ever heard of them.
Yeah, maybe. Probably not, though.
The bomb keeps going, and we keep showing the bomb walking for 15 minutes. Yeah. It's like, oh my God, I do not care. This thing is so small, and it moves so slowly.
It's tiny. It's only gone 12 feet in the past 30 minutes.
Luigi gets the boots from Bertha, and then he picks up Mario and then flies around.
Yep, zoom.
Koopa starts shooting a thing, blowing up the whole set, and then he gets devolved, and then he turns into a dinosaur, which turns into a different dinosaur, then he turns into Flubber, and then he turns into slime on the ground.
Yep. Is that science? I don't know.
And everyone cheers, and then they jump around and float, and everyone's like, "You're the greatest!" And then everyone starts to dance.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah.
The king turns back into the king. Who plays the king?
Did I recognize him?
I don't. That's why I'm asking you if you recognize him. I recognized him.
I don't. I didn't feel like I recognized him. Maybe I did.
Lance Henriksen.
No. Really?
Yeah, Lance Henriksen. That was him.
Like Pumpkinhead?
I mean, he was in Near Dark. I remember from that. He was in Aliens.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know. I don't know why I didn't recognize
Lance
him.
Horror franchise star Henriksen.
Yeah, man.
That was he who played the king.
Which is fun because my old roommate's name is Lance Henriksen.
That's this guy's
The
name.
only difference is the D.
Hendrickson.
Hendrickson.
Oh, what an idiot. Why doesn't he change his name? To be cool.
Because he has to be a little bit different, you know?
Jesus. So they open the portal. Daisy's going to stay. And Mario's like, "No, Luigi, you got to leave." And I'm just like, why does Luigi have to leave?
Yeah, I mean, their plumbing business is way too important, Dan. Okay?
It's over. Come on, Luigi. Let's just leave. This is stupid. Super hot girl. I'm going to go back to sitting on a couch. I think not.
Yeah, that's a good choice. Video games are good.
3 weeks later, stop moping. They do an interview on TV where they explain everything. Like everyone.
Yeah,
that was the weirdest thing of the movie.
That felt very strange. You shouldn't do that because you're going to get locked up. Okay.
And then, boom, knocking at the door. The door opens. There's Daisy in super hot commando outfit. I need your help. I love that. Yeah. I love this.
Setting up the sequel, baby.
I want to see the sequel now. I'm like, this was super great. I got excited. I actually got excited at the end of this movie, and I was like, yes, they're going back.
We're going back to the Mushroom Kingdom, baby.
So I really think maybe this new Mario movie, maybe we pick up with Daisy grabbing them.
It's just a continuation. I hope so. I hope. I mean, honestly, the sequel would probably have been better than this movie.
Yeah. Although Toad doesn't get turned back to reality, which kind of bummed me out.
No, he just burns up. He's burnt to ash. He's dead.
What else you got, Tony? I'm
just calling it like I see
I'm
it.
spent. I'm spent for the show.
I
all I
mean,
got.
this movie was wild. It's so hard to just pay attention to the whole thing because there's so much going on and none of it makes any sense.
No sense made. Well, it's not that it doesn't make sense. There's like a weird internal logic to all of it. It just doesn't add up to anything.
No, Dan, there's not. Don't try to defend these people. These people are in trouble with me.
I'm yawning because we survived the Super Mario Brothers. So everyone now go out tonight, go see the new one, and report back to us if it's good or bad.
Yeah, let us know. Let us know if Chris Pratt really brings the whole thing down or if I can see it and be okay with it. You know what I mean?
But Tony's going to see it anyways.
I'm for sure going to see it anyway. But not this. I don't think I'm going to go this weekend. Because also Dungeons & Dragons comes out.
Dungeons & Dragons is out right now.
Is it out right now?
It came out
yesterday.
Maybe
I'll go see it.
Yesterday.
I'll go see it tonight then. All right. I'll go see it tonight. And then I'll see Mario.
So, Tony, why don't you tell us about something you like this week?
Oh, I would love to. What a pleasure. It's, of course, John Wick 4. Went and saw that in the movie theaters, and it is a delight. Best one since, I think it goes John Wick 1, 4, 2, 3.
2, 3.
Yeah, 4, it was good, man. It was good.
It's good. I just watched 2.
Okay, yeah. How'd you feel?
I liked it. It was good.
Yeah, 2's fun. I like Common in it. Common's great.
It's basically just like, what, 4 fight scenes, 3 fight scenes? 3?
Yeah.
3 fight scenes?
Yeah. Yep.
And what's your movie? 3 fight scenes. They're each about 35 minutes long.
Yeah, 100%. Now you get it. Now you know what you're in store for the third one, which is just even more.
Now, is Ana de Armas in the third one?
And who is that?
Ana de Armas.
Yeah, which hold on, let me look her up.
She was in the
no.
But they said she's going to be in her own movie, which is a spin-off of John Wick.
She gets a spin-off.
Oh.
I don't think she's
so it's
actually
just in the same universe. I figured she was in I figured she was in one of these movies and they're like, she's so good.
No, I think she's just getting her own movie in the I'm just making sure that I'm not wrong. Yeah, I'm not wrong.
Because she played a spy in one of the James Bond movies, and her scene was probably the best scene of the whole movie. So, sure. I mean, like, her in a John Wick movie is a thing that I would like to see.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. Yeah.
She's the female action star I want to see. Because she's...
Well, I think you're going to get to.
Yeah.
So that's great.
That'll be fun. That's great.
Yeah. And I'll watch anything in this universe just to see what they can do without John Wick. You know what I mean?
Sure. He's pretty...
Because I like
Keanu's pretty amazing.
Yeah. Keanu's great. Also in the fourth one, some of these side characters are amazing.
Really?
They brought some really nice characters in.
Yeah. It was like in 2, they were kind of hinting at that. And I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now there's some good stuff, man.
No, good.
Keep with it. You're going to like them.
I'm just, we're getting near the end of the latest season of RuPaul's Drag Race, which is a show I don't always watch, but I'll start one, if I see a new season, I kind of get in there. And then once you get in, you get stuck. And, it's like today or this week was like Transgender Awareness Day or whatever.
Because some bad shit's going down.
Bad shit going down. And the funny thing I was like thinking about is, like, when I was a kid, I was into comic books. And then when I got older, I was still into comic books and it became embarrassing. And now being into comic books, see, you're very young, Tony.
Yeah, we're back. We're back to it being totally fine.
Not back to. Comic books were a kid's thing. And now they're an entire culture thing. Yeah, and you watch a RuPaul's Drag Race and you're like, this is going to be the entire culture. And that's why all these garbage people are so afraid of this, is because, they're not going to be going to, the dumb psycho churches and, less and less. Yeah. It gets harder and harder for the terrible people to be have their thumb on everybody.
Let's hope.
You know,
Let's hope.
and they try and
that's the direction we got to
ban
go.
the books and do all this stupid stuff, and you're just like,
Yeah.
you know what happens is you print the books, and then the books sit there, and then if the kids want the books, the kids are just going to pick up the books.
They're just going to get it. Yeah,
You know,
just going to read it.
You can try and indoctrinate them as hard as you can, but the kids just keep getting a little better on this kind of stuff. And your dumbness just is a bunch of dumbness, and you look like an idiot.
And I know how that goes. So I get it.
Tony. So we're not going to tell you the next movie because we already told you the next movie, which is...
The Ugly Truth. We're getting back on track, everybody. This was a little a special episode because Mario came out and I wasn't paying attention to the schedule. So
we're going to get back on track. Watch Katherine Heigl, who we truly hate on the podcast.
Yes,
and
sir.
Watch old G-Butt, who
G-Butt?
we love on the podcast.
Yeah, exactly. It's going to be fun. I can't wait.
It's kind of interesting that, well, because he doesn't seem like he's a terrible person.
No, I actually think he's probably a pretty nice guy.
Yeah, he's probably a pretty solid guy. And I think that sort of comes across is, Katherine Heigl seems like she might be a pretty terrible person.
Yeah, I think that's a safe bet. Yeah. Yeah.
And it's a lot easier to watch people. It's a lot easier to like people that seem like they're likable people in terrible movies than when you're seeing terrible people in terrible movies.
Well, because I'm already rooting for them to fail, basically.
Yeah.
If I think you're a garbage human, I'm like, I hope this is bad. And then I'm happy when it's bad.
Yeah. So we're doing that next week, or maybe we might have a week off for.
We might have a gap week. I don't know. We'll have Into the Vaults is coming at some point.
Maybe we should Into the Vaults, Dungeons and Dragons, the original movie.
Oh, you know what, Dan? That's what we're gonna do. D&D coming back.
There was something popped up on my YouTube feed, and it was like deleted scene from Dungeons and Dragons, and it's the stupid main guy staring at this big gold egg that's composited in there, and then there's so they to have the whole scene, they don't have the egg composited in the whole thing, and so he's just looking at this pole. And I think basically the egg hatches and then a gold dragon flies out of it. And then the last scene is like literally the worst animation of a dragon, like flop, 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 flop. And you just think back on that movie and you're like, that movie was bad.
Yeah, it was not good. It was not good.
Also deleted scene of Jeremy Irons, like in a scene, like the scene, it's like
he was fun.
An extended scene. And it's like the scene ends and he's just like, he just walks off, just like so angry about having to be in the movie. You're like, go Jeremy, you rock.
And because he was giving his best. He was doing 200% in that movie.
He gives it, but once those cameras are off, he's like, you get no more.
It's like, fuck my life.
So we got, and that Dungeons and Dragons movie looks like it's going to be a hoot.
I'm excited. Yeah, I'm super pumped about it.
So it's been Hate Watching. If you like what you see, give us a thumbs up. Leave us a comment. If there's any movie you want to see us do, we'll probably do it. And
we definitely will. I'll just tell you right now.
And feel free to subscribe. And we'll be back next week.
Goodbye, everybody.
Hey, watching!